This is Sports Zone live on Joy Prime. We are on from now till 10:30 p.m. unpacking some of the biggest talking points from the world of sports from the weekend. My name is Fentio Tahiru Fentio. Welcome to the show from wherever you tune in. We appreciate your time, and we certainly appreciate every single one of you for always making time with us. And by us, I mean the three of us, including my two favorite people. Daniel Cranting is back on the show, as usual, and they're making a return for the first time in 2 weeks. Achirimuk Sichov, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
Vladimir Achirimuk Sichov.
Spasiba.
I'm sorry?
Spasiba. I mean, thank you.
Spasiba.
Da.
What's that? What is that on the screen?
Oh, yeah, that was the view from my hotel.
Hold on. Guys, wait for it. 3, 2...
Charlie. Oh, who got me this video? Charlie. Who got me this video?
Oh, God.
Oh, man. Charlie, we are doing...
pressure.
Charlie. Well, I had fun.
DK.
No, but the video, there's something that is so low.
No, it'll be candles.
Hey!
It'll be candles.
Yeah.
Hey!
You know,
Achirimuk. Where is this? Where is it? Which city? Which Russian city?
No, this Moscow. That was the day before I came.
Okay.
So I went back to Moscow so I could connect to
and the hotel room is where?
Oh, this one is
No,
Sky
the
Apartments.
video, the first video.
Yeah, no, it's the same place actually, same room. Yeah, Sky Apartments.
You were on which
in
floor?
the middle of Moscow. I was the 59th floor.
69th floor.
59th floor.
So if the building collapse,
well, it's Russia. Buildings don't collapse.
listen, man, good to have you back on the show.
Yeah. It's good to be back.
You've been missed. How's Russia? It was summer. It was hot.
It was
That's why
summer.
you're wearing shorts and t-shirts everywhere.
We allowed the shots. Yeah, I mean, but Russia was beautiful. It was amazing. People lovely.
God.
Good food, good weather.
Yeah.
Good places to be. I mean, Sochi is a wonderful place to go to. Krasnodar is beautiful.
How many cities did you go to?
So I did 5 cities. Yeah, so, I mean...
Moscow, Krasnodar.
Krasnodar, Sochi, Petersburg. Okay, so 4, because I couldn't do Kazan because of time. I wanted to do Novgorod as well.
Petersburg?
Yeah, beautiful.
Oh, okay. Did you see Peter?
This guy, you know, say, I wanted to say, I didn't collect, I say, I greet Peter from who be Peter? He said the person they named the country, the city after.
The person they named
So yeah, but it's Russia is
the city is called St. Petersburg.
Yeah.
He said St. Peter's City. So greet St. Peter for me.
When he mentioned, I was like, I don't know what they.
But you see, me, I don't call him St. Peter because we are first name basis. I call him Peter.
So you met him?
You've met?
Yes, I met him in Rome.
Okay.
You know, he has another basilica there. It's called St. Peter's.
Peter's Basilica.
Yes, the biggest Roman Catholic church.
Yeah.
And I saw Peter. I said, Peter, what's up?
Oh, yeah, brilliant.
It's your boy.
The boy's in town.
St. Fent. Guys, but anyway, welcome back to the show. Listen, we've got a lot to unpack tonight. And we're going to begin exactly where you want us to begin, which is the Euros for sure. And the final was in Berlin, in front of more than 70,000 people. England took on Spain. And this was one match for the ages. For the first time in the history of the Euros, one team has made it back-to-back to the final and lost. I didn't need to say that, but I've said it. But let's see exactly how all of it unfolded. And then we'll come back here and then pick aside the issues one by one. There were some awards handed out as well. We'll talk about that. Rodri was named player of the tournament. And Lamine Yamal was named the young player of the tournament as well. So big congratulations to them. Did Nico Williams qualify to have been voted the young player of the tournament at 21? Yes, he definitely did. So there's a shout there as to whether or not he should have won. So that's Rodri with his very much coveted trophy. We'll come back to this conversation about whether or not he deserved it. But guys, let's start to unpack the game. 2-1, England lost. Where do you stand on this? Did Spain win it or did England lose it?
No, Spain won it. And they were the best team in the competition by far.
Yes.
I think the closest team to them was Germany. and Spain had to beat Germany to get to the final. And in fact, it is why, if you like, it's Germany that took Spain to the very long haul, took them to the extra time, to the last minute of extra time where Merino scored. It was a very tight game, competitive. Every other team, Spain have just blown them away. But they've beaten some quality teams in this competition. They beat Croatia in the group stages. They beat them very easily. Then they went on to beat Germany, they beat Italy, they beat France. And then here they are beating England. And I think in the tournament across board, they were the best team. And in the end, the best team won it. So,
and Southgate admitted that much, that Spain were just better.
They really were. And so I don't think that it was England losing. I think the best team won in the tournament and the best team on the day in itself. Sometimes we've seen teams who are by far the best team in the competition, but on the final day, things happen. It wasn't to be for Spain. They were just better across board. Yeah.
Let's talk about the game itself then. I'm sure you picked out a lot of issues on how Spain won it, the key battles in there. Let's go through the match. I mean, the first half was very close. The second half, Spain opened it up with a brilliantly worked goal. Then the change happened. And at that point, when, you know, Palmer scored, we thought, okay, England were back in it. And then Spain make another change. The substitute comes, changes the game. So just take me through those moments in the match and how Spain successfully navigated such a tricky encounter.
Yeah, I think in the first 45 minutes, Spain started with a 4-3-3 system. England ditched their back three of the DS and went to the back four across the back, 4-2-3-1. But in the 4-2-3-1 brought somewhat of a balance that for me didn't work because it pushed Jude Bellingham to almost play as a winger. Yeah. And then Saka was another winger and Phil Foden playing his favorite number 10, as many call it. And there was Harry Kane. Harry Kane hasn't looked fit in the entire tournament. His mobility was terrible. I think the fastest he ran in that game was maybe when he was coming off the pitch. But on the pitch, he was just not mobile enough. And that is not Harry Kane. We know Harry Kane. We know how good Harry Kane can be, but he also off color. But Spain went with a 4-3-3. But there was Phil Foden in the first half who was doing a very good job on Rodri. And I thought many pointed out that if they're going to stop Spain from having the control that they normally have, somebody has to stop Rodri. So Foden was almost always getting close to him. Yes, Rodri would play, but it wasn't as effective as you'd want him to be because of the presence of Foden. Then the two wide players of Spain were trying to engage in the 1v1s. Kyle Walker had the better of Nico Williams that first time in one. Barely gave him a sniff. Right, and then Shaw as well was keeping tabs of Lamine Yamal.
I actually thought at some point that Nico was shying away from the 1v1 because every time he had the ball, he had to go back.
He had to because Kyle Walker was.
There was just no way to go past Walker.
His positioning was great. Lamine Yamal as well didn't see a lot of the ball in that first half in the 1v1 against Luke Shaw because Shaw was very tight. But something changed the moment Rodri came off. Because when Rodri came off in that second half...
And that was a very tough call because a lot of us were like...
Yeah. And I'm thinking England themselves have been thinking, okay, if Rodri is out, then maybe we've got a chance because he's so good. But what changed wasn't only the personnel change, it was also a shift in the system. Because they moved from the 4-3-3 that they were playing, I'm talking about Spain, to a 4-2-3-1. All of a sudden now, Foden has two deep midfielders to deal with because Zubimendi wasn't left alone to do the DM job. Fabian Ruiz had to drop alongside him. So Phil Foden now can do that job, the job on those two. But as soon as that happens, again, I'm thinking it's an instruction because we saw it repeatedly, that the two wide men for Spain stopped engaging in the 1v1s. What Spain started doing now was to play the balls vertically and through the lines. So if you look at the goal that he scored right from the onset of the second 45 minutes, it wasn't about players dribbling. It wasn't about Lamine Yamal facing Luke Shaw to want to dribble him. Quick direct pass and vertical pass. So the ball comes straight to Carvajal. Carvajal flicks the ball around the corner. And then Luke Shaw is not tight enough on Yamal. Yamal cuts in. Saka, who's supposed to have been tracking the run of Nico Williams, goes asleep. And I love what Dani Olmo does. Is Dani Olmo who takes Walker away from Nico Williams, brings him short into the box, and then Nico is free on the side, taps it home. And from that point on, it wasn't about individuals getting past players. It was about Spain getting the ball through the lines. And so to the final goal that eventually won Spain the game. Boys from Spain's own half. One ball through the middle for Ruiz. Ruiz goes straight to Olmo. Olmo has a huge chance to play the ball to his left to Cucurella, who has made a run and Saka is not tracking. It was the easiest pass. In fact, it was the most sensible pass for him to play. But what he does is to ignore the run of Cucurella and go vertical by breaking the midfield line of England, go straight into Oyarzabal, who had come on at that time. He flicks the ball to Cucurella and he makes the run into the box. So with those three passes from the back, They broke the first press, which was casual or passive from England. But Ruiz breaks the midfield line and then almost continues that. Oyarzabal goes where the ball comes in and scores. So it was just that. And at that point, I thought England didn't have the legs to cover the spaces that were opening. And in the end, Spain deserved it. It could have actually been worse, looking at the chances they created in the second half.
Yeah, brilliantly done. Daniel, let's talk about England. Fair credit to them. I mean, before the game, there were quite a number of people, including our very good friend Christopher Nimley, who said that it would be a cricket scoreline. And when Spain scored first, I feared that could happen because then England needed to do something they haven't done, maybe to lots of oppositions in this competition, take the game to a very good Spain side that were very good on the counter side or playing balls in behind. But they did respond really well, bringing on Palmer. They got the equalizer. And at that point, I thought, okay, they looked very competitive, and then it doesn't work out in the end.
Frankly speaking, watching the game again, yes, in as much as that Palmer substitution worked for the moment, I think when you look at it on a prolonged period of time, I think Spain were still in control of the game. Because
Even
Spain
after England got the equalizer.
Look, Spain were still creating chances in spite of England looking dangerous on the break. Spain were creating opportunities, they were creating spaces. Now, a lot of people haven't given credit to Jordan Pickford, but for him, it would have been 4-0.
Oh, yeah, of course.
4-0
I agreed.
Yeah, before Palmer even came on to score. My issue was England failing to react to what Spain had done. Look, their first half game plan worked in terms of containing the Spaniards. In the second half, when Spain opened up the game, were creating those spaces, large spaces in between the lines. They had multiple bodies in the half spaces ready to pounce. England didn't react. Now, the personnel on the pitch didn't have the legs to cover those the spaces and the grounds that were opening up. And I felt that you always name a squad to react to situations that happen on the pitch. And I thought the substitutions from Southgate should have happened a bit quicker. First of all, to try and contain what was happening inside their own half, as in Spain creating the opportunities. Because, yes, you might talk about Palmer coming on to score, but Spain were always looking threatening. And for me, it would have been better for England to keep it a bit solid. And then, even when they score the goal, they will still have that defensive block that, in terms of the players on the pitch, will be able to give them that compactness.
But to be fair to them, they were trailing. At that point, what substitution had to be made?
You are trailing 1-0 just after halftime.
Yeah.
You can react. It's not, you don't just...
I get what you mean. I'm trying to imagine, for example, that right after Spain scored, his substitution looks defensive on paper.
No, you see, it's not about the look. It's about doing what works. And I'm not saying England should have sat back. I'm saying, let me just go straight to what I'm saying. Kobe Mainoo was practically useless in that second half.
Fair.
He wasn't getting the ball. Rice has the legs to make those runs. Kobe Mainoo was struggling in closing down spaces. So take him off as quickly as possible. Bring in somebody like Gallagher who can do the running and also help on the break in terms of providing that extra body in the counter-attack. Now, when you have that compactness, it will stop, it may stop your opposition from getting chance after chance after chance. And you see, what it does to a psyche of a team is not the best. In the final, when you've just gone down the goal and you are conceding chance after chance, it's literally Pickford making save after save after save. When Palmer scored, even the Spanish body language, they knew that they would create another chance. It wasn't about England were all of a sudden playing well. England were just dangerous in scenarios. But even in terms of the final balls to creating the chances on the break, that Cole Palmer shot was basically the closest they had gone in the game. And even after Spain scored the goal, it was the
corner, the header.
Yeah, England practically...
But would it have made a difference, though? For example, the change that you suggested, the moment Spain scored, you would have probably taken off Mainoo, brought on someone like Gallagher, maintained some solidity in the middle. But would it have made a difference, for example, with the changes that he made? He took off Mainoo, all right, but he brought in Palmer, who scored. If he had made the change you're suggesting after that, would it have made a big difference?
Kane wasn't helping out defensively. His offensive end product was all over the place. Foden in the first half was doing a job on Rodri. When Rodri went off, he was struggling to deal with Zubimendi. If you want to give yourself that balance, and I'm saying, stop Spain from playing first. Don't go and concede chance after chance after chance. Don't make Spain feel like they can create for fun. So that Gallagher change would have given England a bit more compactness. Then you can throw in Palmer for either Kane or Foden. Because on the counter-attack, Palmer doesn't only have the calmness to pick out a pass. He can also help out in terms of the speed in the break. We saw the job that Bellingham was doing in the second half, the box-to-box run. If England had about double of that with Gallagher and Bellingham making those runs up and down, it will give you industry going forward, as well as maintaining you dealing with the threat of the Spaniards, especially in the overloads in the half spaces. I thought that even after England scored, yes, from a neutral point of view, it was a nice game, but the next goal was always going to go for Spain because the spaces were there. And it was basically a simple goal. As at the time the pass was being played into Oyarzabal, it was like a 2-against-4 situation. Yeah. Oyarzabal had the ball against 3 centre-backs who were closing him down. Kukurea is on the far left, and it's literally 2 passes, 1, 2, and it's a goal. It just shows you how well worked that. And this is not the first time Spain are creating an opportunity or scoring a goal like this in the competition, where it is vertical pass into the strike, it goes wide, cross comes in, they score. They've done it over and over again, and that's what opens up space. But unfortunately, England were not able to react.
And to be fair, listen, Gareth Southgate has done a great job looking at where he's brought England from. He's brought them to a certain level where they cannot dream of playing in finals and maybe then hope to win them. But I thought maybe he didn't utilize the squad as maybe he should have, because especially in that first half, or coming into the second half, Danny Carvajal had so much space to himself and so much room to himself to pick passes, to overlap, to run. Because Bellingham is not natural. He's not a natural wide player to track those runs. I think if you have a player like Anthony, if you utilize Anthony Gordon well, his pace keeps Carvajal busy. Carvajal starts thinking about not taking too much risk in galloping, because behind him, a young man has got pace to burn, and he might not be able to catch up with him. But he knows that he can catch up with Bellingham. Bellingham is not blessed with pace. So it was so easy for him to gallop that down line. And also another player who I thought, for me, was poor in the final was Bukayo Saka. Because one of the things that we say about his game is his work rate. Off the ball, the position is able to pick around Ben White. The position is able to pick around Kyle Walker when they've played in this competition. In the final, he wasn't tracking back. It happened in the first goal, it happened in the second goal, it happened in a couple of scenarios. And Kyle Walker was being always doubled up by Nico coming into the house, basically career bumping up, so he had to track back. Bellingham did a lot of that, sometimes in that second half for Luke Shaw, because he had to, even though he wasn't natural. So I thought a couple of players' individual performances didn't really aid England. Should Gareth Southgate leave? I've seen arguments that say that, yes, he's done remarkable with this team, probably the best man. In fact, I've seen Bellingham call him the most successful England manager since 1966, and he's not lying. Back-to-back finals, lots of semi-finals, the World Cup, third place, matches everywhere. Like, he's really done well with this team. But there are people that say, yes, that's great, but to get to the next level, they might need someone different.
They were not third in the World Cup, though. But
no, I said playing third place matches.
Yeah, okay. But
there were 4. Belgium beat them, I know.
Yeah, it's good. Look, it's a question England need to answer. What he's done on paper is good, but everybody knows that this team is capable of more. Yeah. That's the thing. And you see, if you contextualize what he's done from the World Cup to the last Euros to this, he's basically been required per who he has faced to reach the final. Right. He hasn't had an excuse. The only time that England have had a difficult path to a final was in Qatar, where they met France and they lost. Aside that, England on paper have been favourites against every team they've met in a knockout round since.
Look at their run in the World Cup, for example.
Yeah.
Panama and States.
Panama, Tunisia, Colombia, Switzerland. They have been expected to beat these teams. In fact, England on paper were expected to beat Croatia in the semi-final. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for them. But that has been their story. And I think that they will look at this squad and feel like if they have a manager who can get the best, because they are playing football that works for the manager. But when you look at the squad and the potential of the squad, you expect them to be playing a certain type of offensive football that will suit the players in there. And I feel like, for me, if they can get somebody who has a track record of getting that out of his teams, fine. I don't think you should take this job away from Southgate if you are going to try and error with somebody who has, let's say, I saw somewhere where they're talking about a Graham Potter or something. No.
Graham Potter, Eddie Howe.
You need a winner. At this point, that's basically what the team is.
That's what the team is.
And you make a very fantastic point. I've seen that argument made by a few people that his record against top 10 ranked nations, it's remarkably poor. Yeah. I think 4 wins in over 20 matches or something like that. Yeah. So every time he comes up a team ranked in the top 10, he struggles. And Daniel perfectly puts it. So all the other games that they've played, and have made it to the final in all these competitions where they've made the final or the semi-final.
Yeah.
They've come up against teams that they are expected to beat.
Yeah. And that has been a Gary Southgate problem. Look, what Southgate came to England to do was to rebuild the culture because the culture was rotten. Players didn't really have a sense of purpose for playing for the national team. After the Roy Hodgson and Sam Allardyce era where it was terrible, he's come to rebuild the whole culture and the whole perception of English football and the fans. So it's bridged that gap. Now, that is a great job that he's done. But now what he's taking England to the line. What England need now is somebody who can cross the line with them. Because you cannot be a terrible person or a terrible coach when you've gone to back-to-back finals, you've gone to a World Cup semis, you've gone to a World Cup quarterfinal. There's something there. But to win things, you need an X factor. You need a De La Fuente's decision to switch from the 4-3-3 to the 4-2-3-1 and stop playing 1v1 and go. You need those little things to go your way.
You need a thinker.
You need somebody who has it. And when you look at Gary Southgate, when the game is not going well for him against big teams, at times he's been unlucky, it must be said. In the game against France, I thought it's one of the best games I've seen England play that they didn't win.
You mean in Qatar?
In Qatar.
Yeah.
I mean, if Hurricane puts that penalty away, it's a different storyline altogether. And many, many things. But you need luck at times on your side. He hasn't been lucky. But when it comes to football and its tactics and its coaching and changing things against big teams and calling the big shots, he's falling short. And that's why I think that England now needs somebody who can take them across that line.
Fair enough. Let's look at some of the awards then. From Rodri, named player of the tournament. Your thoughts on that?
Look, I don't agree. I don't think that Rodri was the best Spanish player. I think that to a large extent, I'm placing Fabian Ruiz and even America Laporte above Rodri in terms of individual performances. I know Rodri is important. He made the team thick. But we saw it. When he was out of the team, everybody around the team could still play. In fact, I dare say Spain played better when Rodri came off the pitch. And that's not a Rodri problem. I'm just saying that they are good enough to do things on their own. But I don't think that he was the player of the tournament where they absolutely needed him or he absolutely grabbed every game by the scruff of the neck to take Spain to the finish line. I think players like Laporte, for me, were better individually in the team. And Fabian Ruiz, for me, was even more.
I mean, it was a bit surprising mostly because how's the player of the tournament hooked at halftime in the final, and then he comes back and he's named player of the tournament. But what does this change what does this do for Rodri in the shout for the Ballon d'Or? Does this change anything?
Friend, you see, frankly speaking, when you look at this Spain team and their performance, it is very difficult to pick one player who was better than everybody. This is one of the decisions that everybody will be right and everybody will have a strong point as to why he picked this player to be the player of the tournament. I think Rodri is one of those players who has given 8, 9 over 10 performances so consistently. It has become very normal that when he does it, he doesn't really raise eyebrows. Right. So he delivered it again consistently throughout the competition, and everybody was like, yeah, it's a normal Rodri. But I think I understand why people say he deserves it. I understand why he was given the award. It's not one of those things I can say I heavily disagree, and he absolutely did not deserve it. Fabian Ruiz had a really good tournament. Lamine had a really good tournament. If I was voting, I would have voted for Nico Williams. But I understand. Now, the reason why I think that based on the current parameters and metrics that they use to vote for this Ballon d'Or, the reason why I think Rodri will not win it is, go back last year. Yeah. The FIFA Best Award, where Rodri had won a treble with Man City. He won the Nations League with Spain. He was best player in the Nations League. He was best player in the UEFA Champions League. Yet he wasn't shortlisted for the top 3. And nobody really spoke about it. Yeah. Football is losing its honesty. And for me, it's just about the next competition. That's why I'm not too crazy about what has happened with the Euros, because it's just about the next competition. I can bet you, the UEFA Super Cup. Bellingham scores a wild goal. Vinicius does something brilliant. And all of a sudden, that match will take them above what the consistency that Rodri has done. I dare see, if Rodri was playing for Barcelona, it would have been a done deal. He's straight away winning the Ballon d'Or. Somebody like Lautaro Martinez. There are so many, when you look across the season, I think there are so many raw, proper footballing shouts than the names we were hearing before the start of the Euros. And football has, and Euros and the Copa, and football has once again given us an opportunity to see that those guys that were consistently being put in front of us are not it. And the footballers, the Rodris, the Lautaro,
pure footballers.
The pure footballers. The ones
We
who
are back to this term
The ones
again.
who pass the eye test, but based on the jersey they wear, they don't get the headlines. We've seen them, but unfortunately for me, it's been a bit too consistent.
Where do you stand on this?
No,
Vinicius, Bellingham, Lautaro Martinez, Rodri. What does this award do for Rodri's shot? So it does nothing, really.
I think he actually pushes him. Last time out, he was in the top 3. Was he in the top 5? No, I don't think he was. I think he's going to be in and around there this time. And he's been an incredible footballer, very consistent. Danny mentioned he's been so consistent, we take it for granted. But I don't think Rodri's performance in this tournament takes him above what I saw Vinicius Jr. and Bellingham last season. I think the recency bias it's possible that we forget how impactful Jude Bellingham was for Real Madrid's La Liga winning season and how crucial he was to the Real Madrid team that won the Champions League. Second top scorer in La Liga. Overall, La Liga's best player. And that happened over the stretch of the season, wasn't just for periods, right? So I think that Bellingham still has that shout. But for me, I still think that it's Vinicius Jr. for me. This last 1 month is not going to change how good and how brilliant he was in deciding big moments and being consistent for Real Madrid over the course of the season. So I still think it's Vinicius Jr.'s maybe Ballon d'Or year, in my opinion.
Isn't the Ballon d'Or like in November or something?
Yeah, but Ronaldo's been said to be a seasonal thing. So
But
the season ended with.
Personally, I was looking at something today, and I think Lautaro Martinez should win. Now
He has a good shot.
look, he was best player in the Serie A. He was top scorer in the Serie A. He won the Serie A. He scored the winning goal in the Super Cup. That's the Italian Super Cup. He scored the winning goal in the Copa America, top scorer in the Copa America. In fact, he took 9 shots in the Copa America and scored 6 goals. That is efficiency. Now, when you do this over the course of a season, the only competition that was lacking in terms of his impact in it was the Champions League. But a continental international competition is as big as the Champions League, if not better, because these competitions come, you don't have the opportunity to play it every year. So that is impact. Now, if you take the body of work and his individual brilliance and his impact on the competition that he has won, I think it goes past, because for Vinicius Jr., you can say that he wasn't as influential in Real Madrid's La Liga win as Bellingham was.
Yeah.
At the same time, Bellingham wasn't as influential in their Champions League win as Vinicius was. Yeah. Vinicius from the knockouts round, it was basically all Vinicius Jr. carrying Real Madrid to the title. In the La Liga, it was basically Jude Bellingham doing a lot of the work. By the time Vinicius them started getting into the season, Real Madrid had already created that gap. But the player who...
Even in the group stages was Bellingham.
It was Bellingham. So, yes, he also won the Champions League. Yes, Vinicius also won the La Liga. But when you look at their impact, it's not as powerful as what...
it doesn't cut across
when you flip it.
You think Lautaro just edges it?
In 99, same thing happened. Rivaldo won the league. Yeah. He was second top scorer in the La Liga. He went to the Copa America. He was top scorer in the Copa America and won the Copa America for Brazil. Barcelona didn't win the Champions League, but the candidates for the Ballon d'Or was sort of like this, where nobody really stood out. So they looked at raw football and raw impact, and Rivaldo rightly so won. I think that if you are going back to that historical precedent that has been set, Lautaro should be winning.
Fair enough.
He doesn't have the brand, so...
I've got a message here from our good friend Christopher Nimley, who says that Southgate was very naive. He kept telling his team to go forward with 4 minutes to go in a major final like this. All he needed to do was to ask his team to be compact and push the game into extra time. He was just not smart as always. Football won, he said. Yeah. Let's look at the team of the tournament. Is it the official team of the tournament we are looking at, or the Joy Sports one? Okay, Joy Sports one. I put this together so you people can kill me.
You put this together, thank God.
I have to be. I have to be. I put it together, and I put Joy Sports on it. Whether you people like or you don't like, you must accept. Switch your thoughts on this. Karim tells me that I should remove Saliba. No, he said I should remove Gehi, put Laporte. I should remove Pickford, put Unai Simon, and I should remove... No, he said another one. He said I should remove Musiala and put Morata or something, and then we'll have Spain team.
Morata.
That's according to Karim. But Thoughts on it? Now looking at this again, I probably would make maybe one change, I think.
I mean, whatever team anybody picks, Laporte has
Yeah.
to play, in my opinion. I mean, he was the best defender. No,
I thought Gay had a great tournament.
Yeah, so
yeah,
Gueye and Laporte.
but yeah, massive respect to him. But
Yeah,
I mean,
so
I don't
maybe
care who you take about. Laporte was, in my opinion, though,
Yeah.
was the best centre back
And
in the
Saliba
way
too,
he
to be
aided.
fair, because until that semi-final, France had conceded the fewest number of goals in this tournament.
You know, I thought Saliba had a great tournament,
Yeah.
so no qualms. But he wasn't. Both Saliba.
I think there's no debate about the middle.
Yeah, the middle.
He's set.
And the fullbacks. Okay, first of all, the fullbacks, right? You can't debate about Cucurella.
Yeah, difficult.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And Carvajal, I'm not sure any other right back in this club
Nah.
did better than him.
No.
And then as for the two Spanish boys at the top, Yamal and Williams, surely they have to be there. I picked Musiala because I thought until Germany got kicked out, he was a contender for player of the tournament. And then, you know.
Yeah, another player who was actually also contender for player of the tournament, but his brand
Look,
is
I'll drop
powerful enough.
I'll drop Olmo for Rangers.
The Dutch.
Yeah.
What about Gakpo? No place for him,
Exactly.
maybe up top?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
I'll
I'll drop Musiala for
I'll
Gakpo.
drop. Look, I'll drop. Lamine Yamal play Musiala, play Gakpo.
You drop who?
Lamine.
The young player of the tournament.
Yeah. Play Musiala, play Gakpo. Yeah.
No, not for a match. Based on the tournament.
Team of the tournament.
Yeah. Look, see, I don't want to
No,
go
no,
into
but who was it that said? Was it you or who said that, you know, whichever team anybody picks, it's like one of those things, right?
But that was the tournament in itself. The tournament wasn't
There
overwhelming.
weren't too many standouts.
Yeah, it was a great tournament of few good games, few standout players, a lot of performances at par.
Yeah. Good team performance.
Good team
It's not
performance,
very
so no
loud,
individual
but
stepping
yeah.
out there. So, yeah, listen, whatever team you're going to
Probably
pick
the
is
best
gonna be.
individual performance in this tournament is Cucurella. I think he murdered that left back position. There is no other player that came close to him in this competition. Even I would put Ice Cold Palmer in this team if I'm benching anybody. Bench Yamal and put Ice Cold Palmer. When you look at minutes per goals ratio and all that stuff, Palmer any day. But you know, the reason
Then play
England
Oli
lost
Watkins.
is because
Because Watkins had played only 6 minutes against Denmark, came on to score the winner against Netherlands. And yes, so go
guys,
Perich with the Watkins.
listen, we will take a very short break now. But when we come back, I'll be reading a lot of your messages, so you keep them coming. Your thoughts on everything we've talked about. When we come back, I'll take your messages, and then, of course, we'll take the conversation to Copa America. Then we look at why Ghanaian athletes are protesting over unpaid bonuses and unpaid per diems while preparing for the Olympic Games. All of that still to come here on the show. This is Sports Zone. Be right back. Zone, Joy Prime. We are on from now till 10:30 p.m. Thank you very much for choosing to stay with us. Keep your messages coming. Use the hashtag Sports Zone on X or Twitter. I've got a few messages here. Use the hashtag Sports Zone, your thoughts on all of the things we're talking about. So let me go on Twitter, those of you leaving us messages there. Mr. African, he says, Bellingham was the reason England didn't have a free-flowing attack in the tournament. His over-elaboration on the ball made opponents close spaces around his front three. Too many touches before an attempt to pass was needless. It says, you, Ankasa, you play 8. Madrid made you play 10 and false 9. No, you want to show Zidane vibes. Even Olmo, who is a better dribbler and ball progressor, was making a maximum of 2 touches. Jude must have himself to blame for England's poor attacking efforts. Very interesting message from Ransfield on X. Gambero Roland, also on X. He says, hi, Fen. I think the Ballon d'Or for this season should be scrapped. Like in 2020, none of the contenders has performed exceptionally great for both club and country. Interesting thought as well. Let me go on to WhatsApp and read a few messages. Oh, where are my WhatsApp messages? I can't find it. Okay, we'll find the WhatsApp messages for you very, very shortly. But let me remind all of you that we're excited to announce James Wire as last week's lucky winner, big winner. That's right, he won a cool 1,000 Ghana cedis. So congratulations to James. Go and treat yourself with that money. Keep your eye on Winner Big for more chances to win big this week. Participating is easy. Just dial *920*6# and follow the prompts to purchase your desired tickets. Or download the Winnerbig app on both iOS and Android Play Store to play and win. You can also visit our website on winnerbig.com to purchase your tickets. Some luck I wish you this very week. Remember, a daily ticket of 5 Ghana cedis qualifies you for the daily draw to win 500 Ghana cedis, and you will be in the run with the same ticket for the weekly draw, which is for 1,000 Ghana cedis. 1 ticket, 2 draws for you every single week. So purchase more tickets to boost your chances in both the daily and the weekly draw. The more tickets, the better your chances of cashing out big time. All right, so you keep playing. Also, remember that Syntex Tank is your trusted water tank brand. And if you want your water tank in all kinds of colors, Syntex has it. All kinds of guarantees, they have it. They're the only water tank that gives you up to 7 years warranty. And the inner layers that you want as well, whether double, triple, quadruple, you can order and custom make it as well, as many layers as you want. So remember, no matter what your water needs are, Syntex Tank has it. Syntex is strong. It's very tough. They have over 300 agents nationwide. You can call their phone number 0244-335-168 to order a tank, and they'll deliver it to you. You can visit their social media pages, Syntex Ghana, to find out more information. The show is also proudly sponsored by Kivo 4-in-1 Gary Mix. If you're feeling hungry and want something quick to eat, Kivo 4-in-1 Gary Soaking Mix is your hunger buddy. It has all you need inside the pack: crispy Gary, crunchy granite, creamy milk and sugar. All you need is to just add water and you're good to go. No stress, just too delicious to taste. Enjoy it at the office, a boarding house, a home, anywhere you want, really. It's available in various markets and retail shops nationwide. And, you know, Kivo 4-in-1 Gary Soakings Mix. Soakings are easy. This advert, remember, is FDA approved. And Richmond, where is our Kivo Gary 4-in-1 Mix? Richmond. Richmond. Okay, thank you very much.
We do slow. Slow.
Richmond, tell him.
Slow. Richmond, slow.
This is your camera. Where's Danny Kid's camera?
Bring the Kivo.
Thank you.
Oh.
Danny Kid, that's your camera. Number
Slow. Richmond, slow.
I mean slow.
Bring the Kivo.
Slow. Slow.
And the guy said too much.
Please, I want close up. Where the camera? I want close up. Give Danny Kid close up.
Slow.
Tell him.
Richmond, slow.
Tell Richmond.
You are doing slow,
Tell
Richmond.
him.
We told you this thing like
Danny
2 months
Kid,
ago.
go here. Tell Richmond.
Oh, we've told you like 2 months ago, Richmond.
Thank
2
you.
months.
Open your eyes.
2 months, Richmond.
Thank
Keep
you.
on the chair. Slow.
Slow.
Richmond. Bring the Kivo. Slow.
These days, in this economy, we need the Gary Soakings.
We need the Gary. You're doing slow.
Charlie, what is that?
Kivo.
Who does that?
Charlie, only water they need, though. But Richmond, they do slow. Slow, Richmond.
No, I
Give Danny Kid.
Richmond will go for bed.
They will bring the Kivo.
All right, thank you. Fair enough. We're going to go to Karim now to take his thoughts. I'm not sure what he's been working on. Ghanaian players abroad. Lots of Ghanaians have been making transfers here and there ever since the start of last season, what have you, or the end of the season. I've seen a few other transfers this season. Karim Benin Adamu
Yamal.
Karim Yamal.
Oh, wait, that's his new nickname.
Yeah, Karim Yamal.
Karim Yamal.
This one is from Daniel Kranti. I have no knowledge about it.
Man. Listen, what have you been working on? Let's go.
Thank you.
Yes.
You know, the average football fan,
Yes.
they say top 5 leagues in Europe.
Yes.
At least you have a team there. When you are watching those leagues, you support.
Yes.
Do you know that the K's favorite team is Serie A?
Danny K's favorite team.
Yes.
In Serie A. I'm not sure. He was making a campaign for Lautaro Martinez. Maybe he likes Inter Milan.
Not Inter Milan. Let's let himself teach us how to pronounce the name of his favorite team in Serie A.
Okay. Danny K, show us how to pronounce the name of your favorite team in Serie A. United want him.
I like him because I think he fits the mold and he fits what I think the manager is trying to do. And I'm using it based on what we saw at Atalanta last season. At Atalanta, what am I saying?
Hey, Karim! Hey, Karim! Karim! You have a sound bite!
Charlie,
We have a promo!
Charlie,
Moved out.
Fenty, what are you referring to?
Fenty, you're coming up. Look, because of this boy.
Me got to get before.
Yes.
I know I've ate. I know I'm finished. So, Charlie,
Wait. Say their name.
No. I'm not a fool. What we saw in the Serie A last season. What we saw in the Serie A last season.
With which team?
With Gasparini's team.
Atalanta. Yes.
Why do United want him?
I like him.
Atalanta.
Pedro, you know,
What is so special about Atalanta this season?
the special thing about Atalanta is that Atalanta.
He take his time before he say Atalanta.
But
He's being careful himself, right? Every syllable.
Everybody Atalanta.
you know,
What's the name of the team?
you know,
What's the name of the team?
Atatata.
No. What is the actual name of the team?
Atalanta Bergamo.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
You know, he has a good.
Atalanta Bergamo.
Yes, he has a very good friend, Ibrahim Suleimana.
Okay.
The information we are getting today is that he wants to return to Atalanta. Di Marzio is reporting that after just one season at Cagliari, where he played 21 games in the Serie A and scored 2 really brilliant goals, there are talks of him joining Atalanta again. They are champions of the Europa League and they'll be competing in the Champions League, looking to beef up their squad. It looks like he has convinced them enough with the 21 games he has played in the Serie A and the goals he has scored. Looking at him, he's averaging at this point. He joined Atlanta's youth team in 2019 from an unknown team. I don't know, a team in Sunyani. I can't really remember the name. From there, then 1 year again, he moved on to Hellas Verona, the under-21 team. July 2022, then he moved on to their senior team. Then the following year, July 2023, he joined Cagliari and played 21 games under Claudio Ranieri. And now it's like what the information is saying is that negotiations are advanced and he could be joining Atalanta. Let's move it on. Atalanta.
I like this move. Augustin Watch.
Yes,
From
he deserves.
to Saint-Etienne.
He deserves it. Last season, if you ask me, if you had taken top 5 performing Ghanaian players, he would be part of them for me. Scored 10 goals in the Austrian Bundesliga and provided 6 assists. That is ranking among the top 2, both goals and assists in his team. And earning that move to Saint-Etienne, newly promoted side, for 3 million euros. That is a substantial amount of money. The past 3 seasons, he's been playing in the Austrian Bundesliga, churning out the numbers, but hasn't gotten that Black Stars call-up. Maybe after the move to the French League, a more recognized competition than the Austrian Bundesliga, maybe you get a chance to play there in the Black Stars. Now, this guy, Grijon Che, he plays, his contract at Clermont-Foot expired after their relegation, and then he joined the Standard Liège in the Belgium Pro League on a 3-year deal. That will be the contract will be running out in 2027. Now let's move it on to the next player. This guy, look at Ghana Premier League players are now moving on to directly to teams in Europe in the Serbian League. This team, the name.
Mention it.
Kucharici.
Tukariki.
No,
Emmanuel Jigba.
it's Kucharici.
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 That's an interesting move.
Yes.
Definitely a move up.
Yes, it's a move from Accra Lions. And
Of course.
Accra Lions.
Keep your thoughts to yourself. Let's go through this.
Emmanuel
Jigba.
Yes,
Kukariki.
he joined them from Accra Lions, and Accra Lions, they went to Serbia for some under-18 tournament.
Wait, good sport there.
Yeah, it goes for they went they signed up.
Under 18.
Yes.
Karim, you can speak pidgin.
Oh, the Fijian, they are being, you know that.
Wait, hold on. Where did you learn the pidgin?
do you need to go somewhere to learn English? Okay. You know we hustler before.
You are the guy. What's it? No,
You know what to take to vet you? You do Yamal to Rabio. Yamal to Rabio.
Karim Yamal.
Charlie.
No, he's going there. He's going there.
Oh my God.
So he's joined them on a
You this boy Ankasai. You go on. You go on. Finish.
He joined Kucharichi from Accra Lions on a season-long loan, and with the option of signing them for a permanent deal if he impresses. Now let's move it on to the next one. Another player. This one, I'm really excited about it. Looking at it, what I'm saying is that the family, sending the family, we know that the move was confirmed in January. He joined them on a 5-year deal from New Zealand. After just 1.5 seasons playing the last season, he played about 29 games, and in those 29 games, scored 6 goals and provided 7 assists. And Brighton paying 19.5 million euros for a player that is just playing in his first professional season. You know the amount of talent he has that they are investing so much in him. 19.5 million euros is not small money for a player just playing in his first season. And the most impressive thing is this picture. Signing Alaji and Hajia to get witness his unveiling is really delightful to see. Now let's move it on to the next one. Idris Baba.
In the last 1 week.
Yes, Idris Baba, his contract at Mallorca expired after playing at Almeria last season. He couldn't help them survive relegation. Out of the 26 or is it 25 games he has played, started just 14 of them, and they suffered relegation. And now he's joined Almeria on a permanent deal until 2027. I thought there was a move, talks about him joining a club in the US, but looks like that didn't materialize, and he's joined Almeria on a permanent deal.
Almeria, did they get relegated?
They didn't. I'm not even sure they won a game until the end of the season.
So he'll be playing in Serie B?
No, La Liga, Segunda B.
Segunda B.
Segunda.
Sorry, not Serie, Segunda B. So the second division in Spain.
Yes.
Is where Baba
Segunda, I think it's Segunda.
Second. Segunda is second.
Yeah.
Yes.
Segunda.
So that's where Baba Dusu will be playing next season. In the Spanish second tier.
And I think one of his best seasons he has played for Mallorca was in the Segunda B, helping them get back
promotion.
to promotion.
Fair enough. Karim, are you done?
Yeah.
You are. You stay there for me because I'm going to, unlike you, I'm going onto the screen to talk to an international journalist.
Sure.
Whatever you have to say, keep it to yourself.
I want to see the interview.
Garinho.
Oh, Chaupino.
Garinho.
This man, yesterday, that he shift to this side. Shift to this side. Let me see Gary well. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
You are covering. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we hear you.
Garinho.
You spot it.
Garinho.
You spot it.
Yeah. Listen, a few days ago, this guy was covering Copa America.
Yeah.
He realized that the competitions, time no day. So you go to America, cover one match. They go to Euros, cover one match. They go cover one Ghana Premier League match. Then you go cover one.
No, it's for it.
Garinho is for it.
Ah, man. How are you? How's Berlin? How's everything?
Charlie, everything is solid, man. Everything is solid. Everything is fine. I'm just very, 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 very tired. I'm very tired.
Can imagine. Lots of travel, lots of work. But listen, just chipping with us. Very grateful. You did a lot of work with us during the Euros with Sporty TV, which was where you were doing all your agenda. You put some starting 11, and the way they cooked you, I was just laughing.
He said Ronaldo should retire.
He said, this Euros, your man just set out to cause chaos on the timeline from his Ronaldo agenda to anti-Bellingham agenda to...
I saw his Copa America team of the tournament. They were Lionel Messi. I'm like,
He said, as I say, hey, Gary.
Gary.
No, this Euros, your man really, he's spotted. That's right. But listen, quick thoughts on the whole Ballon d'Or argument. Where do you stand on it? We're just talking about what Rodri's win of the player of the tournament. I saw your arguments. You don't agree that he should have even been player of the tournament in the first place. But what do you think the Euros and the Copa America have done in shifting the favorites in this whole in this whole Ballon d'Or conversation?
I think it has done a lot of, if you are Vinicius, you will say it has done a lot of damage, to your chances.
Maybe slightly.
I'm telling you, Charlie, because if he had even probably gone to the semi-final, it would have increased his chances or brightened his chances. But as of now, even Jude Bellingham, who has won the, who could not win, the Euros, it's on shaky ground a bit. So many people have entered. I literally just saw the video before coming onto the video that Danny and Achu did on Joy Sports, and I replied to it with a picture of Danny Carvajal and what he has achieved this season. And I was asking whether he shouldn't be on the podium as well. Obviously, it's unlikely he will win, but he's won it all this season. So, just to throw it into the mix and make it look more exciting, that is what the Euros and the Copa America has done to the two things. About who would win, whether the voters will go against the grain and give it to somebody like Rodri, who is not a goal scorer, as we have seen with the whole Ronaldo-Messi duopoly, that is minus Modric, did in 2018. That will really, I don't know who mentioned, I think it was Danny or somebody who said they should give it to Rodri so that the world can know that we are shifting the dynamic back to the old days when it wasn't just about scoring goals and assists, so that not like normal service will resume after 15 years of Messi and Ronaldo madness, So I think that would be nice. But between now, I think it's the first time that after a major competition such as the Euros, there won't be any international competition until the Ballon d'Or and FIFA the Best will be done. It will be the first time in a long while that we are not absolutely decided on who should win after that tournament is done.
Yeah.
Because in previous years, once it's done like this and this person win, we know that unless the person has a chaotic season from August to November or something, he's not going to win. But we also always know that recency bias plays a part in the minds of the voters. So right now, whether it's Bellingham, whether it's Vinicius, whether it's Rodri or whoever, the work is actually not done. They need a pretty strong August and September at least, to also increase their chances. But as it stands at the moment, I think Rodri has put himself in a very strong position together with, Bellingham and Vinicius. I have a feeling that, the PR will do its job and Vinicius will be high on the agenda. Bellingham will also be high on the agenda as well. But yeah, I think it's very open.
Okay. And Gary, since you were at the Copa America, I want to show you these images. Benaya, let's look at the crowd outside of the stadium in Miami just before the final between Argentina and Colombia. I mean, this is madness. This is I tweeted earlier this morning, this is not how to organize a tournament. And I saw a video of you yourself, even as a media person, in long winding queues just trying to access the stadium. I mean, and you were there in that match between Colombia and Argentina when all of that chaos broke out. I mean, what is going on? This is the country that will organize the World Cup next year. How much did the U.S. authorities have to do? Look at this. I mean, this is...
This, man. Look, friends, so when the thing happened, that the thing happened with me struggling to access the stadium, and I posted it. Somebody from FIFA got in touch about something else, and I mentioned that in passing, that Charlie, like, are you seeing what's going on? And the person said, it's CONMEBOL, man. That's all the person said. The person said, it's CONMEBOL, man. When it comes to the international, the continental confederations, CONMEBOL is where CAF used to be like 10 or 15 years ago. It's such. I want to be careful here because you want to be diplomatic and all that. I said that on the space. Yeah, I think I said that on the space yesterday. But it's difficult right from the accreditation. I mean, our colleague Derek Yim was there as well. Even things like the accreditation.
Superstar.
International Argentine media officer.
So even things like the accreditation portal. I mean, friends, Danny, you remember what the CAF website used to be like 5 years ago, right?
Yeah.
You remember what it used to be? You go onto the portal, you want to even register for something. And if you are not a Spanish speaker in this day and age where there are language options, so you can choose whether you are English or Spanish. Even when you choose the English option, the things are still coming to you in Spanish. So I'm telling you, when I was going to do my accreditation, we're going to have my accreditation, I had a challenge where for about 15 minutes, they couldn't find my name. You know what the problem was? Because I had done Google Translate of the portal where they write the bio, you give the bio data and your KYC or whatever it was. The Google Translate had translated surname as name. So I had put where Al Smith should have been and Al Smith where Gary should have been. So when they typed my name on the system, they typed my surname and they couldn't find my surname as Al Smith. Then somebody said, try his first name. When they typed Gary, everything came.
They should have just typed Garino.
So that's the thing. And then with the chaos that I experienced myself, they have literally just issued a statement. I think you might not have seen it because you're on air.
Yeah.
When you started the show, CONMEBOL have issued a statement. Guess what? Blaming the Hard Rock Stadium, the stadium where these pictures are being shown, for not doing their part and of crowd control. I mean, come on, man. They claim that they know the way the Copa America attendances can be and the fans can be. So they gave the Hard Rock Stadium enough and ample warning as to what to do to curb such occurrences. And the Hard Rock Stadium did not fulfill their end of the contract, okay? But beyond that, there's been a lot of talk about the United States in general, because you see, CONMEBOL can, but if you are the USA and you are the host country of something like this, part of the responsibility falls on you. So I've been following the news quite closely with detail. The mayor of the city where the Hard Rock Stadium of Miami, they call it the Miami-Dade County or Dade County or whatever. The Miami-Dade County was also speaking about it, and she said this shouldn't have happened and it must never happen again. I mean, friends, you live in America. They host baseball games and of hundreds of thousands every week. This doesn't happen. So that is how you know that it is not a Hard Rock Stadium issue. You see, it is the regulators' issue. Yeah, because they host, what do you call it, baseball games and ball games every week in bigger stadiums, some of the college facilities. Friends, you tell us, 60,000, 45,000, 80,000.
109,000.
109,000, and it's smooth, and it's so. The USA really, have to go back to the drawing board. Like, there needs to be a serious soul searching. Thankfully, the good thing about it is that FIFA, as you know, since last year or so, right after the World Cup, actually, they started moving their offices to the USA because of the very unique challenges they are anticipating with the 2026 World Cup. So they started by moving the legal office of FIFA from Zurich. So if you go to Zurich right now, there's no legal office there. They are operating from Miami. Then some of the offices have been, I think 3 other departments have moved within the past year. So now that this is happening, I'm glad this is happening so that they can grab the bull by the horn and stop some of these things. Another problem is the field. you saw the field in the Copa America. They were terrible.
Yeah.
And it's a
I think
uniquely
it was,
American situation.
Marcelo Bielsa complained bitterly about it. And one
Yes,
of the
it's a
countries
uniquely
actually
American
couldn't
situation.
train because they went to the
Because-
training facility and they had to turn back. They didn't even train. I'm like, how is this happening in America?
Yes. But you see, friends, you know, it's a very uniquely American situation where you remember when they were choosing the host venues for the World Cup, Stan Kroenke Stadium pulled out and said, we won't do it.
Yes.
The American owners, it's a very unique situation where the private owners have so much power in the choice of these venues and how they operate. Even though you are hosting, so if it is the African Cup of Nations, the CAF rules or the UEFA Champions League, all the stadia for the duration of the tournament will not be strictly like whether it's the Emirates Stadium. If you are hosting sort of like the Euros, within that period, UEFA has ample power over the facility and the rules and how the pitches are.
Exactly.
It's not like that in America because of the way the American system works.
Yeah.
So the MetLife Stadium pitch was under the control of the ownership of the MetLife Stadium when the competition was a South American, a CONMEBOL organized event. This is crazy.
Yeah.
So
And it's
people
also
have to
because
put
of it's
their-
also because of the lack of leverage really that CONMEBOL has over what's happening in America. It basically looked like the USA was doing them a favor. So
Yes,
you can't
true.
come and
That's
tell
true.
them how the pitches should look. And that's why, for example, even the standard of the pitches in the Copa America were smaller than the normal football stadium pitch. So you notice that a lot of them, maybe instead of being the normal 114 by 68, a lot of the pitches were maybe 100 by 64, a lot smaller. Apart from the lack of quality, the pitches were also really small, and it made even the football itself very frustrating to watch from a very tactical point of view. So there were lots of issues around this, most of them basically stemming from the fact that CONMEBOL just didn't have a lot of control.
Something has gone terribly wrong because only 2016 they hosted the Copa America in America.
Yes.
The Centenario. And it was a lot better than this.
Way better.
The pitches were a lot better.
Way
the
better.
crowd, we didn't hear of all of this. So something has gone wrong somewhere. And when to think of the fact that it's close to when the USA itself is going to host the World Cup, I thought this would have been a perfect opportunity for them to assess how fans of countries are going to come to the stadium. Believe me, the FIFA World Club Championship won't address that because football club fans are different from national team fans.
Yeah.
And for the American sports, I was discussing off air with Danny that for American sports, those who are going to the baseball games, the hockey games, look, it's an expensive sport. Those who are going there with a certain class. Nobody goes there to go there in crowds. They go there in it's a luxury sport in America. Football is not a luxury sport.
Yeah.
Buggers are coming.
It's not. And also, one thing that I think people haven't taken into consideration is also the demographic of the people watching these sports.
Yeah.
So when you go to the NFL matches, the basketball matches, you're likely seeing white people.
Yeah.
These are Latinos and,
the passion level is different.
it's very
completely different culture from what the American
so
people
those,
themselves
so
are
those
used to.
nuances are very important.
So I don't know, Guy, I wonder if the stadium architecture, and when we were in Qatar, when you've gone at the AFCON, the outer perimeter is so huge that before you get into the inner perimeter, you have access to access the stadium before you can even get into the inner perimeter from the outer perimeter. The stadium they've got in the USA, the architecture, does it accommodate all of that? Because I have a feeling maybe it doesn't. And the way football is going,
No,
the way
it
fans
doesn't.
are,
It doesn't. I've been to many American stadiums.
That's the first start
It's
of
like
the problem.
it's like Babaya. If you get over the wall, that's it.
Wait,
You're
enter
into
or
the-
you enter?
yes. No, it's true. You're into the stadium.
Yeah.
Basically, there's not a lot of, and you see a lot of the crash barrier.
Yeah.
It was
Very close
this
to-
crash barrier, for example, that you're seeing. It was makeshift.
No, but
it
you see,
wasn't there.
my problem is Anita. Anita on the right hand side. If you
I'll say Anita.
No, can you start on the right hand side? What does Anita think she's doing? You don't have the power to look at Anita. What is she trying to do?
Why you call her Anita?
Oh, but you don't know
Oh man, the security just gave up. But
Oh,
show
Bernard.
me the goal. Show me the goal. The goal that decided it. I mean, this is this is cute.
Anita don't go fit stop that.
Anita don't know stop. You ask why I don't know Anita.
Okay, let's look at the goal that decided it then and talk about something else before we wrap it up. So extra time, 119th minute was when the goal came. Lautaro Martinez, that's it.
Baller.
What a great finish.
Baller.
Wonderful finish. And now Ballon d'Or shout, I guess, for him. 16 Copa America. How often do they play this competition?
Every year.
Wait, I think that's the oldest continental competition, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
The oldest.
so no wonder. One country, 16. That's an awful lot. To be fair, it's not like they have so many countries to move it around to, right? It's 10 countries that can possibly win it. So, unlike AFCON, where it's 51.
That's why they're inviting Panama and like kind of thing.
Yes. Anyway, so congratulations to the campione, ole, ole, ole. Lionel Messi, another trophy in the bag, back to back. Guys, let's show you something.
There are rumors that he may.
Your people.
That will be his last international match. I don't know whether that's it.
Oh, he should retire. He should retire.
He should not retire.
No. Per Gary's own logic, he should retire. He's working, he's not doing anything. He got hurt, he's crying, he has won the trophy. He should retire. Or he should also retire.
but the players, when they agree, they like crying.
They like crying too.
When Ronaldo got injured in the
He was crying.
sir.
Yes.
Then Messi, you play, boy, you hurt.
You hurt, you are crying.
Is that the first time we
Why are you crying?
You're about to cry.
The game is not over.
It's not over.
I mean,
Why shouldn't he cry?
No. Gary said that when it was 112 minutes and Ronaldo missed the penalty, he was crying. He was making it all about himself.
Yes.
And there was just 8 minutes. He was 68 minutes. You are ahead. Crying.
So he should retire. Guys, this one there for your trophy.
He should retire.
Okay.
The
Guys,
similarity between Ronaldo's heroes and Messi's Copa.
Charlie, the same thing.
In terms of
the stories are so parallel, yeah.
Charlie,
I want us to look at something real quick. Our athletes are in Strasbourg preparing, Strasbourg. They're preparing for the Olympic Games. And let's show you visuals of them. There they are. That's Joseph Paul. He's going to be team captain, flag bearer for the opening ceremony of the Games. They signed lots of shirts, handed them over to the city authorities in Strasbourg as gifts. That's Graham, I believe. Media attaché. So that's the gift they handed to the city authorities there. It's an 8 athletes member team strong. The whole team is 21 members, so 8 athletes.
Stacy, no.
So there are 8 athletes and 13 officials who are with the team there. But there's a story that the Graphic Sports published today saying that the athletes want all their per diems paid before the games start. And they say they're owed per diems from the African Athletics Championships, and that they, apart from saying that they should pay them, they also complain that when they pay them their bonuses, aka the African Games bonuses, in Ghana CD checks, it creates problems for them because they don't live in Ghana. So
They want it in dollars.
they want it in what?
Yes.
In dollars.
Yes, but they were promised in dollars.
Thank you, yes.
You see,
but you see,
no,
that's the problem, right? It's a communication issue.
You told me you give me $3,000 if I win gold or whatever. Everything is $1,000 if I win gold, whatever. That $1,000 is not the same as its equivalent in cities. At the time you're going to pay me.
No, they do it with Bank of Ghana rates. You understand?
No, but the Bank of Ghana rates is not steady across time. It's not steady across time.
At the time they made the promise, that's what they'll give to you. At the time they made the promise.
No. So if you are telling me you give me CDs, tell me you give me CDs. If you tell me dollars, I'm expecting $1,000.
But to be fair, we've gone past this matter. And it started with the Black Stars, where we said that they should stop paying the people.
Do you know what?
Stop promising in the
So
currency.
now they give them CD checks,
you see,
equivalents
if you tell me
of
give
them.
me dollars, give me dollars. The reason is I determine what time to change those bills.
No, I support the CD payment.
No, you don't get me. I'm saying that. Tell them you pay them whatever in CDs. If you tell me dollars, I'm not expecting its equivalence at the time you told me. I'm expecting the bills because you don't control the rates.
The rate.
Bank of Ghana does.
No, you don't control the rate. You can't control the CD. You can't even arrest the CD. You are saying that you be paying me.
So first, no, you get my point. If you tell me $1,000 and you give me its equivalent to CDs, you've ended me. If you give me the $1,000 and I keep it for the next 2 months and the dollar goes up,
It will go up to.
it will go up too.
It will go up to. Because you can't even arrest the
So
CD.
don't tell me dollars. You can't tell me dollars and tell me you give me CDs. No, it doesn't make economic sense. No.
So
Dollar
I
needs to be
think,
net pay.
I think the lesson here is the ministry should stop promising.
They should stop lying.
End of
That's
story.
the thing.
Stop promising in
It's not
dollars.
stop promising in dollars. Stop
Okay.
lying.
And when you
And pay the people. Pay them,
Thank you.
including the black princesses too. They
Let me
should pay
take a
them.
couple of
They
messages.
should, they should stop lying.
Kwesi
No, they lie.
this is my first time watching the program. I promise to be a regular viewer.
Oh, welcome on board,
You missed
man.
a lot.
Kwesi,
But welcome.
the sports ministry, they like lying. They should stop. They told them they'll pay the black princesses in March. We are in July. The girls are going to the competition later this month. You still not pay them. That's a lie. Stop lying and pay them.
right.
Stop lying. Or we will lie to you when it's December 7th. We will lie. Why? Stop it. They like lying too much. Pay the girls.
Are you done?
It's not that you done. Then people are suffering. They are texting you and they are every day
No,
they
I
are
know, I
crying.
know.
Every day they are
Not be
crying.
you, they buy it.
Every day they are crying.
Yeah.
Pay them and stop
They
it.
don't have
What
money
is that?
to buy sanitary pad.
Pay them nothing. Food. Every morning when you wake up, then you are sad because of some long. Every day they are sending you messages.
Right.
Why?
Danny, cool.
Pay them.
I couldn't even read my messages. But Danica is passionate about this topic, so please pay the money. $6,000 per player. The competition starts on the 31st of August. Next month, no. They are preparing in Cape Coast.
In Cape
They haven't
Coast,
paid the money.
when Black Stars
Please
players, they are shorts.
pay the money. All right. Thank you, Sisho. Thank you, Daniel. Being an absolute fan. Thank you, Gary. Thank you to you, all of you, for all your wonderful messages. That has been another episode of Sports Zone.
Thank
We're
you,
back
Karim
again
Yamal.
next Monday. Until then, you take care of yourself and bye-bye.
I think he fits the mold and he fits what I think the manager is trying to do. And I'm using it based on what we saw at Atalanta last season. At Atalanta, what am I saying?